So, I've had the new iPad mini 6 now for about a week, and I wanted to see how this little tablet would fare for my ultra mobile photography workflow. And I have some thoughts. Roll the intro. Alright, so I'll spare you the tech specs. They are easy enough to find on Apple's website, which also has a handy comparison page if you're looking to upgrade. Really useful to see things side by side. But in any case, I'll just say that the tech inside this little thing is top-notch, as expected from Apple. The new A15 Bionic chip really is no joke. But as you may have noticed from the intro, I am coming from a larger iPad, specifically the first iPad Pro 11 from 2018. And if I'm being honest, it's still a great tablet. So why the change? Well, because my friends,
newer is always better.
Just kidding. There are some speed gains that I noticed when using apps like Lightroom Mobile, but the truth is, I really just like the size. I mean, I'm a camera and a gadget nerd, and yeah, have you seen my bag addiction video? It's not because I'm trying to be fashionable. It's because I have too much stuff that I can't be without. Heck, sometimes I carry both a MacBook and a Windows laptop, and maybe my work laptop, and all my camera gear, and yeah, it gets crazy, and the more portable and lighter I can get things, the better it is for my back. Oh yeah, and the other reason is now the Apple Mini is compatible with my Apple Pencil. So it really is just a smaller version of what I was already using. Speaking of how I use it, well, it's about golden hour, so let's go out and see if we can get a decent image or two and do a quick edit on it. Alright, so let's get the tablet in a case because it's always good to have protection. Close that up. We're going to throw this all inside the Peak Design Sling 3 liter, so pretty small. Go ahead and pop the tablet in there first. I'm going to bring the Sony a6500 to shoot with the 16-55 G lens. Throw that in there. And then I have this SD card reader to USB-C so we can edit on the go. Throw that in there. Zip it all up. Let's get outside. As usual, running late. As you can see, there is the sunlight going down, so we gotta hurry up and get up this hill and see if we can find some cool shots. All right, hopefully I didn't mess up the audio here. I did push a couple buttons accidentally on the microphone, but I found these two cactus here. Let's see if we can create an image. See if we could starburst this sun. Go for something like a up 11 maybe, very southwest. All right, let's see if there's anything else we can find. One of the other things I'll do when I'm looking for shots is get really close and get some macro shots, because sometimes they just look cool, especially with that golden light in the background. So I'm gonna see if I can just shoot this and make it look cool. Well, we're just about out of light, and I was gonna just sit out here on the rocks and edit on the iPad mini because I do have it in the sling right here, but last time I was out here I got eaten alive by mosquitoes, so let's head back down and see if any of these photos turn out any good. It's kind of rushed, so Maybe not, but maybe I got one good one. Maybe. All right. See you down there. All right, well, while there still might be mosquitoes out, at least I have the citronella candle going, so hopefully that will keep them away. Let's get the iPad out real quick. Do some editing. Let's get the carrot out. Pop that in the SD card reader. Also has a micro SD card reader, by the way. This is a nice one. I'll leave a link down below if you want to check it out. And let me go ahead and the iPad unlocked with that Touch ID. Open up Lightroom and plug in the card reader. All right, so I got the screen recording going on here. Let's see if I can just throw that right on the corner over there so you can check it out. But the Lightroom automatically pops open with the device connected. Hit continue. I usually go in and turn off photos so that I only see the RAWs. I only took a few shots here, so let's go ahead and grab like maybe this one, and actually no, not that one. Let's go with that one, and maybe this one. Hit import. Got 3 images. You can see that was really fast. Imported it really quickly. Disconnect the device, and we're taken back to the all photos portion. Let's go ahead and start with this guy. This was just after the sun went down. I'm gonna go ahead and cheat a little bit so this isn't taking so long. Hit that auto button. We can see that I might have underexposed it too much, but we'll try and bring those shadows up. Not too bad. Hi, bird. And let's see, the blacks are a little too dark. Let's bring those up a little bit. Touch it up with a little contrast. Color, let's add some warmth back into it because we know it was golden hour. That light should still be nice and warm. We can bring some warmth right back into the image by bringing the temperature up. Increase the saturation a little bit. And it's looking pretty good already. Close the color tab, effects. We'll add a little bit of texture and clarity. I always add a little bit of vignette in some capacity. Detail, I always bring the detail up to around 70. And then if you slide the masking over while you're holding the screen, you can see exactly what's going to get masked. Usually you only want to sharpen the edges of what's important. So we're going to bring that up pretty high. And ISO is 160. So we're going to increase the noise reduction by a little bit so it looks nicer. And optics, move chromatic aberrations. Always want to do that. So I think it's still looking a little bit dark, especially where that cactus is. So I'm going to increase the exposure a little more so you can see the cactus more. But also, because that brought up the entire exposure, I'm going to bring the highlights down. So bring the highlights down. Let me check my whites level. You can see the whites is what's pure white on the screen by holding it and dragging the slider. And that pure white, of course, is where the sun's at, so yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, not bad. Go to the next one. Again, we're going to cheat, hit the auto button. You can see that already looks pretty good as is. I think if anything, maybe I'll just increase the color a little bit, give it that little more warmth. Also with the temperature. This might look good as a square crop because there's not a whole lot else going on in this image. So we're going to change the aspect ratio to 1:1 to make it a square. Bring that corner down there so we got that leading into the image. And hit done. And yeah, that looks pretty good just the way it is. I think maybe if anything, I'd clean up this little corner right here. This little thing is a distraction. I don't like anything in my image that could be distracting. So let's just show you how the spot healing works. Really quick, this moves so much more faster and quicker than it did on my older iPad Pro. So that's about the size of the brush that I want. And I'm gonna brush in right here. And that takes care of it, hit done. Zoom back out, bam, perfect. All right, last image. This is the one with the starburst. I achieved the starburst by stopping down the aperture to f11, as you can see up here in the corner, top left corner, 1/20th of a second at f11, ISO 160. Let's cheat again, hit the auto button. Already looking great. I do want to bring down the exposure a little bit so that the sky is not too bright. bring the shadows up so we can see the cactus. Cacti. Let's see, check our blacks. I think our blacks are pretty good where they are. Check our whites. And let me increase that just a hair bit more. Color, we're gonna add that warmth back in because it is golden hour. Add a little more saturation. The effects, increase the texture and clarity to get it just an extra pop in there. With the cacti, you could get more texture out of them that way. Hit it with a little bit of vignette. Maybe that was a little bit too much, we'll bring it back one. Close the effects. Detail, again, 70, masking, just what we want to be sharpened. Right, ISO 160, that's usually about around a 20 in the noise reduction, 21 here in this case. Optics, remove chromatic aberrations, always very important. And yeah, that set is looking pretty good. This is one I took the other day, a little nicer. We didn't get as nice of a sunset today, but you know, you gotta take what you can get. So I think this one's looking just a little green, so we'll go ahead and shift over the tint to more magenta. It might help the image out a little bit. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was a nice quick hike and edit of the sunset today. Wow, my image is very underexposed on this screen. Let's take it back inside. Yeah, dang mosquitoes still got me. So, there you have it. This thing is definitely doable despite the smaller screen. The real magic again is this Apple Pencil. It just makes things like spot healing or localized editing way easier than trying to use these fat fingers. Or even if you're trying to use a trackpad or a mouse on a laptop. Sounds all good, right? Well, let's get some of the negatives out of the way real quick. 1, it does have slightly less battery life. I mean, it's simple physics, just less space for bigger battery. It still lasts long enough for my needs, and you know I'm gonna have an extra battery bank sitting around anyways for those longer trips. Number 2, not the best for video editing. Definitely a bit cramped compared to an 11-inch or a 13-inch iPad. But this is a video about photography, so yeah, let's move on. 3, the screen refresh rate. Unfortunately, it is 60 hertz or 60 frames per second. I definitely was spoiled by the 120 hertz refresh rate, aka Pro Motion of the Pro iPads. With that being said, the cons really aren't enough for me to return this cute little tablet. And I do highly recommend it if size and or weight is something that you prioritize. It's got USB-C on the bottom, so you can plug in a card reader and import those raw images right away. It's got the same bleeding edge processor that they just put in the new iPhones. And yeah, just make sure you grab yourself one of these Apple Pencils if you don't already have one. All right, that's Ginter for now. I hope this video was helpful and that you enjoyed seeing some of how I do some quick edits on the new iPad mini. If you did, do me a solid, hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more photography tip videos and the gadgets that I use for my workflow and editing, hit that subscribe button. I do have some more videos coming real soon. Got a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna work on that I'm pretty excited about. So, as usual, thanks again for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. All right, now what to do with the 11-inch iPad? What?